Hello, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a video today on should you make your hobby your career? So I started playing the piano when I was 5, then I started playing the violin, and then the clarinet and the saxophone. Then I left school at 16 and got an arts bursary to study at private school, and I did music there. And I also got a bursary to do weekend school, like music school. And then I went to university to study music. And now I'm a musician. So music, my hobby very much is my career. So I feel I'm sort of quite qualified to speak about this. So I was quite good academically, and I feel like I could have potentially gone down a few different routes, but music never felt like work to me because all of my other subjects felt like, you know, these big blocks of knowledge that you had to fit in your brain somehow. Whereas music was, for me, felt more like I was sort of picking something apart and learning more about something, making sense of something. Practical but theoretical, and abstract but with rules, and imaginative but logical. So it was just it was a very enticing subject. I never really knew what I wanted to do when I was older, but I knew that I didn't want to make any decisions that would make me unhappy. And so I never really considered going down like a business route or a finance route or anything that was particularly lucrative in terms of income, because I knew that happiness was very important. I don't know who instilled that in me, but I knew that from a very early age. I knew that I got stressed easily, and I wanted to enjoy my life. So should you make your hobby your career? Yes, absolutely is what I would say. There are people who for some reason look down on the arts, but these are people who think that being productive is being busy and being miserable, so we shouldn't really listen to them. And people sometimes talk about your relationship with your hobby going sour when you start to make it your work. But I think this is very similar to being in a relationship with a person and then moving in with them. You go from going on dates and it being like exciting, and it's like a bit of an escape from the everyday, and then you go from that to moving in with them and they become your everyday, and you know, you have to compromise and you have to get on even when you don't really feel like it. And this is very similar to making your hobby your job. But the thing is, like with moving in with someone, once you work through all these struggles, you are so much closer and you're so much more compatible because of this, because of the hard work that you've put in. It's definitely not going to be easy, but it's going to be so beneficial for your craft. There's a saying, if you do what you love, then you'll never work a day in your life, or something like that. And then there's also lots of people who say, yeah, but you know, you'll never earn any money that way. And to those people, I would say that as long as your basic needs are being met, it really doesn't matter exactly how much you earn, because happiness and time are just so much more important, because we never get that back. Carmen, someone's ruining my sofa. Carmen. Make sure your basic needs are sorted. So this might mean taking on a part-time job while you're waiting for everything to, you know, to take flight, but don't let that stop you. As long as you've got that covered, then do what you want. Don't let social norms stop you. But the most important thing, which is something I've only very recently learned, and I've been listening to the Minimalists podcast, which are really good. I highly recommend them. Should have put them in my always favorites, but I didn't for some reason, because I forgot, that's the reason. And they talk quite a lot about contribution being a really important factor. So if your hobby is painting, don't just shut yourself away in a room and paint. You know, start a group or join a group or start a workshop. You can even earn a little bit of income if you have enough experience. Our hobbies and our skills and our craft should bring us closer as a community, not widen the gap. And regardless of how experienced the people you're talking to are, you will learn something. I work in a school, and not only are the children I teach the funniest people I've ever met, hello Alvin, but they force me to think about my subject, think about music in a completely different way. I have to preempt how people might misunderstand things. I have to explain very simple concepts that I haven't thought about in a very long time. I have no doubt that I am a better musician because of the children that I teach. Also, my job didn't actually exist before I started. I spoke to the head of the music department at this particular school, and he managed to secure some funding, and we started a scheme where like the promising students would all get a free instrument and free lessons as well. So the school went from having about 15 instrumentalists to having over 100 in the last concert. So it's an amazing scheme. I'm so honoured to work for it. Stop it, please. The likelihood is that you'll have to create your own position or start your own business, but this isn't as difficult as it first seems. However, only allow yourself a certain amount of risk. So everything on my channel is sort of under the assumption that your basic needs are being met, so that you're safe and you're warm, that you have a roof over your head and you have enough money for food. As long as you've got those things covered, then go for it. I used to really want to be a film composer, for Disney specifically. But then I learned more about it and found out exactly how much work and time and years of your life you'd have to invest to get to a point where you'd even be considered. So even to get to a point where you were just like assistant number 6, it would take years of expensive education and, you know, incredibly long days. And when I weighed up the pros and cons and the sacrifices versus the things I get out of it, it just wasn't worth it. And when I think back to it, I think that first of all, I think I enjoyed the fact that it would look really good to have that job title on my Facebook page. And second of all, I'd banged on about wanting to be a film composer for so long that I didn't want to bring shame on my childhood self, which these are all absolutely ridiculous reasons to continue like battling on with a dream. But yeah, when all things considered, it wouldn't have been right for me. So whatever it is that you want to do, really look into it. Is it just some sort of like dream world that you have created, or will it genuinely be something that you would enjoy doing? And finally, if you haven't already seen it, please watch my video on work-life balance. I'll put a card up wherever they go. I made that video at a time where I was sort of decluttering my work life, and if you like this video, I think you'll like that video. It's kind of a similar topic. So if you like videos like this, please feel free to subscribe and to follow me on my social media, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. I'm trying to edit this video now, but someone is making it very difficult for me. So beautiful. Hey. Oh.